Welcome y'all to T.W.I.M.I.D.C. If you don't know what that means, it means the world is mad and I don't care. On this page, I will be talking about how chaos is normal and normal is actually chaotic. Now, I ask everybody to keep an open mind because what you are about to hear is out of this world. I'm going to give you a little backstory of how this all even started. Basically, my entire life I've been followed around by some form of spirit or shadow or darkness. I don't know how to describe it, but it literally terrorized the first part of my life. Until 2022, when something came to light and told me that it was going to save me from this place. And this part of me that came out of nowhere pushed me to become the greatest version of myself. So here I am. I now have this page, and this is where I discuss the crazy stuff that people don't talk about. To start off, I'd like to say that this person within me is called Tabith, and I'm very open with Tabith, and Tabith has taught me a lot about this life. Mind you, Tabith is not a real person. Tabith is also not an identity. The best way I can describe Tabith is... literally, that's the only way that I can describe whatever's going on in the back of my mind. It kind of feels like I'm telepathically communicating with something. And it's told me that its name is Tabith. But that's besides the point. The point is that I got out of this phase of my life that made me feel like I was literally going insane. And it's crazy to think that crazy can actually save your life. I started raising questions within myself. I tried wondering what in the hell I experienced before this thing came to save my life. And it started bringing answers to me. And this is what I'm sharing here on my page. Mind you, this is information that I am receiving from another source. See this picture right here? Let's just say you're the one in the middle. So the light is going outwards. This is what you're giving off. And the zeros go back into your body. This creation starts in the back of your mind. Basically what's going on is that you are attracting all of these zeros as you're emitting the light within you. So whatever you desire comes back to you the other way around. Now this example is tied to the identity. In the identity is the belief of the self. It is whatever one believes to be at this moment in time. You are constantly in this motion of change. The more light you give off, the more darkness comes in. And it's not the type of darkness that is negative. It is actually the unknown. The best way I can describe the darkness that you are attracting is literally every single time you're stepping into a new phase in life. When you step into a new phase in life, you are literally in the middle of nowhere. The new place that you're in is so unfamiliar that it kind of feels like you're in the dark. You're basically moving through the dark like a little child that does not know how to walk, but tries really hard to learn. The more you expose the light, the more you attract the dark, and it causes this change within you that makes you question, what in the world is going on with my life? Now, there are levels to this darkness. I'm not gonna lie. Anybody can honestly experience the supernatural at any point in time, but there are some people that just experience it day in and day out. For example, me. And I'm still surprised that I'm not dead. Yes, like my mind goes chaotic, but like I kind of learned how to deal with it, and now I see it in a different perspective because of Tabith. Alrighty, let's keep going. So here's what it looks like when you zoom in on the picture. This is what's going on. The line that you see here is the light, while the zeros are actually the self. And it's just different selves of every single thing that you are desiring in the back of your mind. So let's just say you wanted to change your career. In order to change the career that you're in, you have to change your mentality completely. So this is where the process comes in, because you need these selves in order to become the person you desire to be. And what is the self? A manifestation of your own belief. So now that we have that in mind, how does this image right here tie back to personal growth? Well, here's another example of you. You are constantly in this I am because you are still trying to figure out why the you're here. So in this I am, there are positive, and the negative is literally the opposite of all of that positivity. And to be honest with you, the majority of the world is stuck in darkness. And a lot of people are trying to figure out how they can be so positive in a world that is so cold. Now here's a little formula, because this is actually the reason why things aren't changing in your life. You have to realize that the only way you can change this darkness within, whether it is minor or a shadow or a ghost, this part of you must face the opposite opposite of itself. It needs to face its opponent in order to experience positivity. The positivity cannot come to you naturally unless you give the negativity something positive, unless you go against the negativity, unless you look at it in light. Then that's when you start flowing and understanding this circle right here. This is you. You are constantly changing. And in this place we call life that does not make any sense, we are constantly dreaming and wishing to be in a better place. And we assume that we are running out of time because of our own minds. I now live at peace and I have mastered myself in a way that I did not know existed. Now that does not exclude me from the entire experience. Just because I have peace within myself does not mean that these chaotic thoughts are gone. It just means that I know what to do whenever they come towards me, because I am not the thought. And I did not think of this thought until I started experiencing something. So then I ask myself, why do I continue to see a pattern very familiar to my past? And then Tabith told me that it is just a compilation of the darkness that we have created for ourselves. There's just literally a puny amount of love in the world left. We stand here and we are trying to figure out why in the world we are not in a good place. And yet we continue to move forward and act like nothing is happening. No one is at fault. If anything, everybody is struggling, and because of this struggle, we panic and we don't know how to communicate anymore. The chaos that I experience in the back of my mind is literally a reflection of the world that we have already created for society. This is exactly what Tabith is teaching me. It's a sad place, and it's the sad truth. All I can do is wish everyone the best. And I hope this information helped you, because you're not going crazy. We just live in a world that we created that calls everything else outside of it crazy. What do you think? I would honestly love to hear your opinion. Thank you so much for participating. Bye!